Now we have to get to Harry and Meghan. We can't do a royal segment without talking about what they're up to. And of course, we'll never forget, there have been so many cringe moments when we're looking at Meghan Markle and all her TV appearances. But of course, when Meghan told the cameras that she didn't know she was supposed to curtsy for the Queen, and she reenacted this whole scene, and it was just unbelievably cringe. And we all kind of looked to Harry's expression, and he did seem very uncomfortable. And Andrew, now a body language expert has actually weighed in, assessing that kind of dynamic. And what did they make of it? What was Harry really feeling and thinking?
Wonderful moment that she
body?
did. Absolutely, that curtsy was. And what I love is these body language experts. They always come out at this sort of time, don't they? So this particular one is called Jesus Enrique Rosas, and he dissected the clip from the Sussex Netflix series where she reenacted the 2016 curtsy she did to the late Queen Elizabeth. And basically, he spotted that Prince Harry swallowed and his jaw clenched, and he averted his gaze and flushed red patches and things like that. He said it's more about anger and contempt is what these experts say. He can't do that. It's anger and contempt. And he looked at that sort of basis. But it was basically the first royal that she met, the grandmother, but Harry's grandmother. He recounts the tale. It was the first senior member of the family that Meghan met. She had no idea what to do. So it was a bit of a shock to the system for her. How do you explain to bow to your grandmother, is what Harry said. And then you need to curtsy, is what he said, which is especially weird to an American. So Meghan reflected on this, and she compared it to medieval times, dinner and tournaments, to all the jousting and stuff like that. But yes, it was a cringe-worthy moment, and people said, well, it showed total disrespect to her late Majesty by reenacting it.
Yeah, no, it was a bit insufferable. I did not enjoy watching that reenactment at all. Now, Harry and Meghan have also opened up about their childhood experiences visiting Disney. So Prince Harry recalled visiting Disney World in 1993 when he was just 8 years old, alongside his late mother, Princess Diana, and older brother, Prince William. Andrew, what did he say about that time?
Well, it's a wonderful time. It's an iconic photo of them with a security guard, poor guy, behind on the big water ride. And it was a wonderful picture of that sort of childhood. So what this is, it was ABC's 2020 special celebrating 70 years of Disneyland Paris. And he remembers this glorious 1993 frenzy. And when both he and his brother, when he was speaking to his brother, they obsessively would loop around Space Mountain, everybody's favourite ride. He would do it like 10 or 12 times. He probably got to the front of the queue a bit earlier than other people, because 10 or 12 times would take several months to get to the front of that queue otherwise. It was basically, he then in 2025, he took for Lilibet's, her 4th birthday, they dove head first into the enchantment there, reigniting his inner childhood. He gushed, I remember losing it as a kid with all the characters, like losing it, to see the kids throw themselves into these experiences when they have no idea what they're walking into, and it was amazing. Aww. It brings out the kid in you again. So glorious stuff. Disneyland, absolutely. Do you have a favourite ride?
Look, I'll have to go back through my experiences there when I was a kid, but I'll never forget it. It's enchanting, it's magical, so much fun. I have to talk to you about Pippa Middleton, because she's thrown a big party for her husband, James Matthews, and of course Princess Catherine and Prince William were there, among other guests. But the party was so big and so much fun that the neighbours were complaining. That's probably a good sign that the party was a success. What's the goss?
Oh, well, wonderful stuff. So good old Pippa. She always hits the headlines along with her sister. They got on famously well. Well, she threw a racy motorsports-themed party for her 50th birthday party for her husband, James Matthews. They have a sprawling 145-acre Berkshire estate. It was thrown on the September the 20th, and they had a roaring Spitfire aerial stunt. There was a bass thumping tunes, apparently until 1:30 in the morning. Now, obviously, all the locals were not too happy, as fun as it is, probably because they weren't invited. As a result, there were a number of complaints. But Kate was there, but Princess Catherine was there with William. Jerry Halliwell, formerly of the Spice Girls, she was there, and other A-listers partied on. Some of the neighbours, when they were interviewed, they said, well, we thought this might happen as soon as Pippa moves in. People with money is what they said. So as soon as that sort of happens, one of those neighbourhood disputes you don't want to talk about, but it's royal revelry gone rogue.
Yes, maybe they're upset they didn't get an invitation. But finally, before I let you go, 7 charities have severed ties with Fergie. Now, this is after an email resurfaced in which she described Jeffrey Epstein as her supreme friend and appeared to apologise for criticising him publicly. But 7 charities, Andrew, that's it's not a small number.
Well, yes, including the Teenage Cancer Trust, a charity she supported for 35 years. What this is, Gabrielle, it goes back to her admission in 2011 that she accepted money from Epstein to help her settle a personal debt. That she owed about 15 grand, or she owed actually 78 grand, and Epstein gave her 15 grand. She said it was a gigantic error of judgment. And she talked at the time to a paper over here saying, I abhor paedophilia and any sexual abuse of children. I know that it was a gigantic error on my behalf. Apparently, and it's just broken the last few hours, there was a very threatening phone call in a Hannibal Lecter type voice from Epstein, said, we're going to ruin your family, you'll get destroyed. And so she backtracked.
Wow.
And what she did, she wrote this little note saying he was her supreme friend, and she didn't use the P word. And basically, she felt very sorry for having said that. That's now leaked, that email. And I always say that everything you ever say, every person you ever stand next to, that will get out at some stage. So be wary of that. What's happened, however, as a result of that, all the charities that you've mentioned and a few others are basically saying we don't want to be associated anymore. Thank you very much for your hard work, but that association can no longer continue. So sadly, Fergie has been dumped by those charities. There's more and more scandals. She's been hit with scandals. You might remember the toe sucking that happened a number of years ago. There was a £500,000 bribe, apparently, to get access to Prince Andrew, and many, many more different scandals. So Fergie, sadly, is no more, and in terms of that sort of side for those charities.
Andrew Eborn, thank you so much for your time. It is always wonderful to speak with you here on Power Hour. We really appreciate it.
It's lovely to see you. Look forward to seeing you next time.